If you want to reduce the risk of tearing during labor, there's a few things that we can focus on and do during labor to reduce that risk. So first and foremost is pelvic floor relaxation, focusing leading up to labor, focusing on those pelvic floor relaxation moves and learning how to let go. So number one, that starts with your breath. A lot of it has to do with your breath. Release your jaw, release tension in your body, relax your shoulders. Something that your partner can also do during labor is to remind you of those things. Just my husband or my midwife telling me, relax your jaw helped me so much, because when your whole body is tense, your pelvic floor is going to be tense. Your pelvic floor doesn't push your baby out, your uterus does. We want the pelvic floor to be relaxed and to get out of that way so that we're not tensing up and that baby can't have any room to move. Second thing we can focus on is down breathing, open glottis breathing. So a lot of times in like movies and stuff, you see that purple pushing, holding your breath, bearing down, pushing as hard as you can. And think about like if you have a rubber band, right? And you're holding something and you push as hard as possible, or you pull as hard as possible, it'll pop. Versus if you do it very slowly, it's very unlikely that it's going to pop and tear. So what we do is that down breath. This is a hypnobirthing technique. And what you do is first you do the up breathing during those contractions. 4 in, either 4 or 8 out. That's during contractions to help you relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, relax your pelvic floor, relax your glutes. When you are pushing, do that open glottis pushing. So when you're about 34 weeks on, I always suggest practicing that deep core connection breath, leaving that pelvic floor open. So we focus on trying to do that, leaving that pelvic floor open, so when we are ready to push, we get that pelvic floor out of the way. And you breathe your baby down. I did this last time. I never tear in my births. I think I tore maybe a tiny bit my first time, but with all the education that I learned and I had going into my second and third births, I didn't tear at all. I also had an almost 10-pound baby. So down breathing, you breathe that baby down, you feel the baby moving with your breath, and you keep that pelvic floor open. When baby is crowning, this is another thing, number 3. When baby is crowning, you can do that panting push. I had my midwife tell me when baby was crowning, and I did. So I did that panting push when baby was crowning. I did the down breath for everything else, didn't hold my breath. Sometimes you might have to, and it is what it is, but try to do that down breath, that open glottis pushing. Fourth thing you can do is focusing on opening up that pelvic outlet. So think knees in and ankles out. No matter what position you're in, obviously your back is not the best possible way, but if you are on your back, you want to prop either one side up or both sides up in order to make room for that sacrum. So if you know the anatomy of the pelvis, your sacrum opens to make space for baby. And then when you do that internal rotation, those knees in and ankles out, your pelvic outlet opens, and that's the bottom of the pelvis. So when baby is there, we want to open up that bottom of the pelvis to make it easier for baby to come through. And then the last thing, probably number 5, would be to focus on different positions. So a lot of times the sideline position with those knees in, ankles out, reduces the risk of tearing a lot. Using gravity can reduce the risk, and I hope that helps.